voiceover me here. So I accidentally deleted some of the footage. I was gonna do like a little suit up thing, and then I accidentally deleted it. And I can't be bothered to do it again, so yeah. I start talking in this clip, and I mentioned a Q&A, and basically the idea was I was gonna do a Q&A, but all the questions were exactly the same. So yeah, that's all. I'm gonna go back to actual me now, so goodbye.
I don't know how many of you noticed, but I'm very awkward on camera. I'm not very good at talking to a camera. It feels kind of awkward, so if I go on any tangents, I'm sorry. I'll do my best to cut out any weird, awkward moments. But obviously I can't really read myself when I'm being awkward, so whatever. So most of the questions that I got for my Q&A were simply just, what got you into the furry fandom? How long have you been a furry? What made you decide to stay in the furry fandom? How do you deal with hate, etc, etc, stuff like that. So I'm gonna just be telling you, how did I get into the furry fandom? Now let's go way back, and I mean way back to, I'm gonna say like 2010. Okay, I was like 3 at this time. Okay, very little, very small. And I think this was when I first kind of showed hints that I'd be a furry when I was older. Basically, at this point my mum bought me this Mickey Mouse costume. And by costume, I mean like it was kind of like a onesie. It was the body of Mickey Mouse, not like actual. And then the hood had like his face on it. So I'd wear it. It was essentially a fursuit, but not really. And I loved that thing. I wore it for I think 3 years straight without taking it off ever. Not once. Even if it was 50 degrees outside, which it wouldn't be because I live in England, but even if it was, not taking it off. If it was freezing outside, I just put a coat on underneath. Underneath? No, that's not right. On top of it. My face is itchy. So yeah, I basically never took it off. And my mum was like, wow, that's kind of unhealthy. I had multiple more experiences like this, like a Winnie the Pooh costume that was kind of the same thing. I think I had like a Sully one from Monsters Inc. as well, but Mickey Mouse was definitely my favourite. Then after I kind of got over that, I kind of calmed down a bit, there was a small gap, and then I jumped right back into it. I became obsessed with Wallace and Gromit. For those of you who aren't British, that probably makes very little sense. But Wallace and Gromit was this show, it was stop animation, like stop motion animation with little clay figures. In the style of like, I think it was made by the same people who made Shaun the Sheep, and there was also like a spin-off of Shaun the Sheep called Timmy Time that I really liked. And for my birthday party I dressed up as Shaun the Sheep, or was it Timmy Time? I dressed up as one of them. And that was my birthday party. I will insert a picture here if I can. But I really liked Wallace and Gromit, and specifically Gromit, because he was a dog. And of course I was immediately drawn to him because he's a dog, obviously. So I pretended to be Gromit. I thought I was Gromit for about a year. About a year that I spent wearing this little hat that I had that had like Gromit's face on it, where I slept in a cardboard box, insisted that my little sister, who had recently been born at the time, was Shaun the Sheep, and that my dad was Wallace, and that my mum was like Girl Wallace, I forget what her name was, sorry. Yeah, and that was my life. And I eventually ended up having a temper tantrum at my dad because he refused to tie me up on a lead outside the co-op. So yeah. Then there was a tiny break, I think for about a few months, and then my mum bought me a copy of Disney's Robin Hood. I think you know where this is going. I was immediately enamored with it. I loved everything about it. I wanted to be Robin Hood. I would always play at being Robin Hood. My little sister would have to be Maid Marian because I'm not letting you be Robin Hood, you little shit. Like, you're like 2, okay? Fuck you. So I was always Robin Hood. When I had friends around, they'd just be all the background characters. I'm like, I'm the big main character. That's kind of a pattern that I'm noticing. I was always the main character. So yeah, I was obsessed, and after I kind of fell out of love with the film itself, I was still obsessed with foxes. If you look about my room, you will notice that I have every piece of Fox, like, merchandise and, what's the word, paraphernalia that probably ever existed. Like birthday cards, I got it. Framed pictures, I got it. Toys, decorations, statues, mugs, I have like 7. Like, I have a problem. It's the best way to put it. I don't know if you can see it, I have this little guy right here. His name is Steven. Hi Steven. He's really crooked now, but I don't want to fix it. So yeah, I became obsessed with foxes. Then, in the year, I want to say, like, maybe 2015, 2014, I found my first AMV. Well, they were called MAPs at the time, but I think they're called AMVs now. MAP, I don't know what AMV stands for, I have no idea. But MAP stands for Multi-Animated Project. And it was basically when they would get a bunch of animators together, most of which were furries, and get them to animate a small segment of a song or like a video or something, and then they would put them all together and it'd be like one big music video. And I loved them. I wanted to be part of one so bad, but I didn't know how to animate. I thought everyone just animated using MS Paint, to be honest. So I made my first... Oh, hello. My sister just walked in. Can I help you?
Do you know where Dolly is?
In her room.
Oh. Okay, bye!
Anyway. So I made my first OC. I didn't know it was called an OC at the time, it was just a character. I have since burnt all trace of it. But her name was like Kawaii. Can you be quiet? But her name was like Kawaii or something. I mean, it was really, really original. And then, a few years later, when I was at the height of my like Five Nights at Freddy, I was really up there on being obsessed with this thing. You know, I was having a fun time. I'd made my first character. I was really obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. I made so many Five Nights at Freddy's characters and fanfictions. I was having a fun time. I found a YouTube channel called The Odd Ones Out. And in one of his videos, in multiple videos, he has made jokes about being a furry. And it was in one of these videos that I was like, what the hell is a furry? So I googled it. And here we are. You did this to me, James.